Hey everyone, back again. Welcome back to another video review. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Robots in Disguise episode, Out of the Shadows. Wow. Okay, so basically what happens, well, a lot of things happen. The episode starts with, basically the news, tracking, if you remember back in the episode where Crustacean was captured, at the end we saw the Shanix that he was after. Those coins? Yeah, the humans apparently found them. The news reports of a vessel tracking them, and they have secured them in a warehouse next to the museum. So after Strongarm finds this, he goes and warns Bumblebee about this, but Sideswipe and Grimlock are in a bit of an experiment with Fix-It regarding the whole combiner thingamabob. They try it, and it fails miserably. Because essentially what happens is Sideswipe becomes a Cybertronian centaur. Or Minotaur, or whatever. Anyhow. Eventually it wears off, but instead of going for the Shanks, it turns out that the Autobots track another Decepticon, and this time it's the Decepticon Shadow Raker, who happens to be an old enemy of Drift's. And his goal is to basically reacquire Jetstorm and Slipstream from his hands, because apparently Drift, known as Deadlock in the past, stole Jetstorm and Slipstream when Shadow Raker was basically their mentor. So they track him in a bit of a forestry area, kind of like where Starscream was, similar area where Starscream was back in season 2.5. They go into his ship. The Autobots are trapped, but they find a way to get out. So that doesn't work. But Drift actually comes across with Shadow Raker. They fight, and unfortunately, Shadow Raker gets away. Then they try again at a different location. I think further up the. I think it was further up the forest. Anyhow, so it was kind of in the deeper part of it. Bumblebee tracks his signature, but unfortunately comes across all the Autobots trapped, and unfortunately Bumblebee himself gets trapped by Shadow Raker. And to this point, Shadow Raker comes across Drift again. They fight again. This time, Jetstorm and Slipstream are just standing there doing nothing, just because Drift's orders. Unfortunately, Drift gets trapped. Jetstorm and Slipstream try to fight Shadow Raker, but unfortunately they get captured, and Shadow Raker makes his way back to his ship, heading back to Cybertron, leaving Drift, trapped against the tree. Bumblebee frees him. They meet up, and they turns out that this is actually very clever. What happens is basically Shadow Raker cloaks himself, kind of like Starscream did with his ship. And Slipstream pulls up a clever trick against Shadow Raker, saying that the Shanix, you'd be interested in some Shanix. So they go to where the Shanix was stolen, or not where it was stolen, where the humans kept it in the museum. So they they get the Shanix, which was pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. Shadow Raker compliments Jetstorm and Slipstream, but to his disappointment, the Autobots arrive, and they corner him. Jetstorm and Slipstream make their way back to the Autobots with the Shanix in tow. This enrages Shadow Raker, who he proceeds to trap everyone again, but this time he fights Drift one-on-one again. But this time, Drift gets the better of Shadow Raker. He absolutely duels him. It was an epic battle. Eventually knocks one of his swords out of his hands, gives him a straight punch to the face, and he pretty much says you've nothing left to fight for, all that stuff. Shadow Raker tries to escape, but Drift uses Jetstorm and Slipstream. He deploys them, and they both take Shadow Raker out. He's defeated, and they arrest him and put him in stasis. At the end, Jetstorm and Slipstream they apologize to Drift for not listening to him. Drift forgives him and says that you have a little bit of freedom free range now because of the most recent mission, and Transformers Slipstream proceed to go on night patrol. And that's the end of the episode. All in all, it was very, very good episode. Drift was pretty outstanding. Shadow Raker was interesting. He transformed into a weird looking spider. Not a spider. Similar alternate mode to Saberhorn. Like a flying stag beetle type thing. And he also, it wasn't mentioned, but he did have a bit of battle damage to his helmet because of the, you know, if you notice in the episode. Had the similar swords as Drift, though in purple and silver and white than the red, black, and gold of Drift. It was pretty interesting. His ship was cool. Slipstream's plan was exceptionally awesome. Fix-It's experiment was a hilarious epic fail. Though I pretty imagine this won't be the last we will. They gotta figure out how to combine without an accidental on purpose. They gotta figure this out, how to do it at the right moment at the right time. They can't just expect to, you know, have an explosion happen and a kaboom. So yeah, that was pretty. It was a pretty awesome episode. I mean, yeah, it was just outstanding. So I would highly recommend watching the episode. It was pretty good. What else? Oh yeah, it was pretty funny at the beginning how Russell wanted to watch a horror movie, but then they, you know, Stronger was interested on the Shanix. But hey, everything paid off. They got the Shanix. They took care of Shadow Raker. Although Shadow Raker, I mean, other than him with his spiderweb abilities like Arachnid from Transformers Prime, and his sword weapons, didn't really have any other abilities other than, you know. But yeah, so all in all, oh, by the way, Shadow Raker actually, calls Drift by his original name, Deadlock, when he was a Decepticon. And yeah, it was pretty good. It was a nice episode, and I'm pretty glad we got to see Drift show more of his true colors and finally take care of his former nemesis in Shadow Raker. Because remember, in season 1 it was Fracture, and now it's Shadow Raker here in season 3. So how many, because let's see, Bumblebee has Overload and Steeljaw as his two main personal antagonists. Grimlock, I don't. Well, okay, Scowl was trying to befriend, but yeah, that was a fail. I don't know about Strongarm, and I don't know about. Well, Sideswipes was Thunderhoof, but Thunderhoof was long taken care of. And yeah, Grimlock's was Underbite. So, but yeah. So really, all in all, it was very good. I love the episode. It was very good. It's highly recommended if you can watch it. It was pretty awesome. I'm curious to see what happens in the next episode. Once again, we didn't see anything regarding Soundwave, Decepticons, you know, an Optimus for that. So yeah, all in all, it was a very good episode, and you'll be impressed by it. So yeah, that's my video review of the Transformers Robots in Disguise episode, Out of the Shadows. I will see you all very soon. I will be back as soon as possible with my next video, and yes. So take care, see you soon, have a good day, and I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.